Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we will demonstrate the procedure of adding and finalizing a new contract request for the motor and vehicle insurance sector. Let's assume that the officer receives an incoming call from one of our clients requesting for a car insurance. The officer selects the contract request. As a result, the contract request forms pops up. Firstly, the name of the customer calling is typed into the corresponding field of the policyholder name. In this example, our customer is John Smith. As demonstrated, while the user types the customer name, the system suggests relevant business partners. Once we select the proper customer, the next step is to define the beneficiary of the contract. This person may differ from the policyholder name. In the example of John Smith, there are 3 possible beneficiaries corresponding to his family's members. Let's assume that the contract concerns Mary Smith as beneficiary. After that, we proceed with the coverage package definition. As the customer requests for a car insurance package, the officer starts to type the proper coverage. So, the 3 available options are proposed by the system. Based on the customer request, the officer selects the right package, in this case the car insurance full package. This option includes an important amount of services concerning the car insurance sector, for example civil liability, fire and theft protection, etc. Of course, based on the customer request, the officer may add or delete some of these services. Next step is the determination of specific parameters of the contract request regarding the vehicle, the beneficiary, and further details of the contract issue. More specifically, the customer asks for the vehicle type of use and selects the right value from the related list. In this case, a private use vehicle is selected. It is also important to define the zip code of the beneficiary. Based on this information, the system automatically finds the proper region zone. Continuing with defining the brand of the car, the model of the car, the engine size, the month and the year of manufacture, and the specific vehicle model version. Based on this data, the system has the possibility to automatically estimate the vehicle value. Proceeding with further details, the officer asks for the vehicle plate, the losses number if there were any, the number of the drivers. The officer may select 1 or 2 drivers. In this example, we select 2 drivers, so we need to define the birth date and the license years of each one of them. In this case, the second driver license year is less than 1 year. This information is important as this parameter will add an additional premium on the net premium amount. The next information is the vehicle deductible amount. Based on the selection of the car insurance package, the vehicle deductible amount is by default set in €500. Of course, the officer, based on the customer request, may reduce or increase this amount. Moreover, some information regarding the issuing of the contract needs to be defined. More specifically, the proposal date, the contract, and the coverage start date. In this case, all 3 dates are defined as the same day today. Finally, the renewal period is selected either for 6 months or 1 year. Based on this selection, the system automatically calculates the contract due date and the duration of the contract in days. Once all these criteria are defined and all the data are entered in this form, the officer may update this form by calculating the premiums. This option takes into account all the data completed and updates the contract request form with the prices and the additional premium rates that may apply in this contract. For example, we see that services such as fire protection and theft protection are updated with the insured capital that is equal to the vehicle estimated value. Also, we see that the net premium amount, for example, for the civil liability service, is calculated based on the vehicle use, the region zone, and the engine size. Proceeding with further information, calculating the premiums also updates the policy fee and the policy fee amount. This information is set on service level. Of course, as this contract request concerns a specific broker that is connected with this client, the partner commission percentage and partner commission amount per service needs to be calculated, as we see here. The next step is to select the type of this contract request. In this case, we have a new car contract, so we select the proper type, based on which the system automatically populates the policy number field with the next available policy number for this sector. Now we are ready to add our contract request. Once the contract request is added and after the agreement with the customer is set, the officer may find the contract request in order to finalize this policy. In this example, we go to the previous record, that is the policy that we already demonstrated. Finalizing the contract is an irreversible process, and as a result, it has the regeneration of an obligation both between the customer and the insurance company, as well as an obligation of the insurance company to the broker. Once we select to finalize the contract, the system informs us that this is an irreversible movement. We select yes as we want to proceed. Now our contract request is finalized. Once the contract form is selected, we can search with the policy number. In this way, the officer has access to the final contract that was generated through the finalization procedure. As depicted in this specific form, all the data regarding the coverage and the net premium amounts are directly copied from the relevant contract request. Also, information regarding the tax percentage and tax amounts of each coverage are also depicted. Right-clicking anywhere in the contract form, the relationship map option is available. This option allows the officer to directly see the corresponding contract request through which this specific contract was generated. This is possible because a link is created between the two forms through the finalization procedure. Furthermore, the finalization procedure of the contract request has as a result the generation of two journal entries. The first one represents the obligation of the customer to the insurance company, whereas the second depicts the obligation of the insurance company to the broker of this specific contract. Through the Accounting tab, and specifically the Journal Remark field, selecting the yellow arrow permits the user to see the journal entry generated by this contract. As shown, the obligation of the customer corresponds to the whole amount of the contract, which involves the taxes, the sales revenue based on the coverage prices, and of course the policy fee amounts. Through the green arrow, the user may navigate to the next journal entry. This entry corresponds to the second journal entry that was automatically generated through the finalization procedure of the contract request. In this entry, the obligation of the insurance company to the broker is depicted. In detail, the outgoing commission are splitted to the broker as well as the broker unit. This concludes the procedure of adding and finalizing a new contract request of the motor and vehicle contract. In the next video, we will demonstrate the calculation engine of InsuranceOne for calculating the amounts and additional rates in the contract request form. Thank you for watching.